I've spent the last month downloading and playing every single Battle Royale on the App Store, from long-lasting classics such as PUBG, Free Fire, and COD Mobile, to the absolute worst rip-off atrocities you could possibly imagine. Yet, there were plenty of mistakes and grievances with my initial videos ranking the games. So, to remedy those shortcomings and pull every single game into one place, I officially bring you every single mobile Battle Royale ranked, as of February 2024. Now, since I'm only covering games on the iOS front, this video won't include any current Android exclusives, but all games mentioned in this video are available both on the App Store and Google Play. I'm also already excluding any top-down or extraction-based games, besides Royale, focusing on those that give the most traditional Battle Royale experience. To make ranking these games a bit easier, I'm going to be using a tier list instead of a whole numerical matrix like I've done previously. S being the upper echelon of games, A and B still being fully worth the download, C being directly mid, D and E being still playable but they certainly have their flaws, and F being virtually unplayable. Finally, I'd like to preface that these games are just that, games. They're meant to be enjoyed, and just because one isn't favorable to certain criteria, or my own personal opinion, it doesn't mean that others can't love and enjoy them just as much as any other game. With all that said, let's get right into the video. PUBG. It stood as the king of mobile Battle Royales for a very long time, and despite my own mixed feelings about the game, I don't think I'm gonna try to dethrone it this time. Its gritty yet highly polished graphics, smooth gunplay and mechanics, constant updates and collaborations, large map and weapon selection, and gigantic player base create an extremely enjoyable and engaging Battle Royale experience. I've been playing the game since early 2018 and have had a lot of warm memories on this game with friends. It's also one of the most widely accessible games on this list, with plenty of equal counterparts such as Battlegrounds India or PUBG Lite. It's a perfect precedent as always for all games that follow. S tier. Call of Duty Mobile. In my previous video, COD scored the highest on the matrix with ease. However, this never sat quite right with me. Maybe this Battle Royale even gets a little too much praise. Don't get me wrong, its base game is easily my favorite mobile game to ever play. However, its Battle Royale, with its constant bots all the way up to legendary rank, somewhat limited map selection with few LTMs, and repetitive gameplay heavily lower its replayability. It also just isn't as accessible to older devices as what would be desirable, but it still has some of the best graphics, movement, gunplay, and unique features out of any of the Battle Royales on this list. A tier. Free Fire and Free Fire Max. Before I begin, I'd like to state that my opinions on this game have slightly changed, but out of my own dedication playing the game to give it a truly satisfactory review. Free Fire is very polarizing amongst the community, some people hating it and some people loving it, and both of those types of people hating each other, making it really difficult to review. So, advising you to keep an open mind as I continue, and for both parties to thoroughly listen to what I'm about to say. I've personally not had the greatest experience playing the game, nor the best run-ins with its player base, and I won't claim to be good at it whatsoever. It has extremely different mechanics than pretty much any other game on this list, with an extremely steep learning curve. It has auto-aim, weird goo walls, potentially slightly pay-to-win character abilities, bulky movement, but all of that adds its own charm. Yes, it is heavily based on PUBG, releasing almost a year after PUBG came out on PC. Krafton, the creator of PUBG, has even sued it multiple times for its use of PUBG's likeness and map design. But with a gigantic loyal fanbase almost as big as PUBG Mobile's current one, decent graphics and broad map selection, wide accessibility to older devices, unique gunplay, and heavily player-run lobbies, it honestly scores as an A tier. Farlight 84. I'm not entirely sure what to do with this game. It still serves as the best Apex Mobile clone on the App Store, but its recent update removing and nerfing some of the driving core features, such as its jetpack system, definitely dropped its enjoyment value. The game is certainly resembling Apex more, with similar movement and character abilities, and even reminiscent map environments. But they're losing what initially made Farlight 84 so great. It doesn't need to be Apex Mobile 2.0. Farlight still has some of the best graphics with unique high-octane Battle Royale experience, but until the devs remedy their recent potentially fatal changes, it won't score anywhere higher than B tier. New state. I absolutely loved this game when it first came out, but over the years, it's just begun to get boring, with a lack of too much new content, and constant declining player base. It definitely has some really unique mechanics, like cross-team recruiting and the most engaging asset animations, so I'll still place it at an A tier. Super Mecha Champions. This game is like my guilty pleasure. I vastly enjoy playing this game and it's extremely mobile friendly, but it certainly lacks some of that realistic or gritty appeal, and its graphics and player to bot ratio are subpar. So overall for me, this game places at a B tier. Knives Out. This game is undeniably an unoriginal PUBG ripoff. The main appeal of the game is its accessibility to older devices or regions where PUBG isn't fully accessible. However, I just haven't had any good experiences with the game, and if you have access to it, please just play any of the versions of PUBG or Free Fire out there, or any other game previously mentioned on this list. E tier. 1v1.lol. This game has grown on me a little. Sure, its main market is a younger audience, and it capitalizes on the fact that a Fortnite app is banned, but it does it really well with quick mobile-friendly match times and has a decent player-to-bot ratio. Overall, D tier. Cyber Hunter. I'd love to give this game the praise that it really deserves, but its lack of a sufficient player base, extremely long matchmaking times, and small map selection really hinder its replayability value. D tier. Royale. This is virtually our only extraction-based game on this list, and I don't have much else to say about this game. It exists, it's playable, it just can't compare to any of the mobile battle royale monuments. D tier. Combat Masters Combat Zone. This game has some serious promise. Yes, it's a blatant Warzone ripoff, capitalizing on Warzone's global release being delayed so many times, but it seriously provides an extremely engaging mobile battle royale experience, with the best movement and gunplay out of all games mentioned so far. Yet its lack of crucial elements like teams, vehicles, or POIs leave it scoring no higher than C tier. Pixel Gun 3D. What happened to this game? I used to love the PvP game modes growing up as a kid, but this game has just fallen into darkness and dismay. The Battle Royale at least has some playability and has a decent player base with absolutely no bots. It just can't do any better than a D tier. Sausage Man is truly a blessing in disguise. I was not expecting this game to play and feel as well as it does, especially with its constant updates adding new features and animations to the game. The controls are as smooth as COD Mobile, and it has extremely high replayability value. Yes, it's childish and took a majority of its features from PUBG, Free Fire, and Apex. Yes, that does hinder its value as a standalone game, and yes, its player-to-bot ratio isn't great. But overall, it fares off as a solid B tier. Grand Battle Royale. This game is alright. The player base has definitely been declining in the past few years, and its lack of any recent updates has certainly lowered its overall value. An E tier at best. Unknown Craft Battle Royale. This game sucks. Its constant bombardment with ads makes the game virtually unplayable. Our first F tier. Warrior 63 Battle Royale 3D. Our second blatant PUBG ripoff that's somehow worse than the first. Also our second F tier. Ultimate Battle Royale PvP. Our first Grand Battle Royale ripoff. Our third F tier. Battle Survival FPS Shooting. F tier. Epic Battle Royale Simulator. I don't have anything to say about this game either. F tier. Bloodstrike. What everyone has been waiting for. Now, this game is still in its late beta stages, and it isn't expected to release globally until March 24th. Yet this game looks absolutely insane so far. I, unfortunately, have not gotten the chance to experience it firsthand, but from all of the reviews and gameplay I've seen of it, it certainly has the chance to rival its counterpart, Warzone, especially since it has a higher availability to older gen devices. S tier. And finally, Warzone Mobile. Warzone is one of the most popular battle royales and is beloved by fans across the globe, and its mobile version looks like it's headed to the same prestige. I also haven't gotten the chance to play this game yet, as it's expected late April, but once again from the gameplay I've seen of it, well, I've never been more excited for a mobile game. It just sucks how high of an iOS requirement it has, 16.0 or up, meaning it has the least availability out of any games on this list. Still, I have extremely high hopes for the official release of this game. S tier. That pretty much sums up every single game that I've discussed in my previous videos. I purposely left out any games that are fully unplayable or were previously disqualified due to other factors, like Fight Squad Battle Royale 3D Mad Guns, Block City Wars, and so on. I'm also sadly not fully including high energy heroes on this list, as it's only available in China for both Android and iOS devices, and I simply don't have enough information or experience to accurately rank the game. If I had to give a guess based on the little gameplay I've been exposed to, I believe it would rank around an A tier, but take that with a grain of salt. I know I've been getting a lot of comments to try Arena Breakout, which is another extraction-based game, but its Battle Royale game mode, Isolation, doesn't have much information online. I believe it's a limited time mode that's no longer available, but if anyone in the comments has information that says otherwise, or wants to share their experience with it, I'd love to hear it. With that said, I'd like to take the next part of the video to rank the different variations of Fortnite Mobile that are still accessible on iOS devices, as well as some extra games that I initially missed, such as Disorder, Mini Royale 2, and Worldcraft Battle Royale. Starting off with Xbox's cloud gaming beta services, I've yet to have a good experience with this service. The load times are still surpassing 2 hours, and the server lag is absolutely unbearable. I know it's a lot higher favored by others because of it essentially being free as long as you have an Xbox account, but I just can't deal with all of its flaws. E tier. Nvidia's GeForce Now is officially a viable option once again, with its plans opening back up, letting new people sign in. It has a free option, but with limited graphics and FPS, and no prioritization to get into matches, meaning you're stuck with even more wait time. I personally don't want to have to pay to play games that are meant to be free, but I know GeForce Now is also highly valued upon others. C tier. Amazon Luna. Yes, it does require an Amazon Prime subscription to access, but with the base subscription you get all of the benefits of GeForce's premium option. It also doesn't have any wait time to get into matches. Despite all of that, I'm still not a fan of what's meant to be a free game being locked behind any sort of paywall to access, so this service doesn't fare any better off than GeForce. C tier. Disorder. I didn't actually know about this game until a few days before making this video. It's not specifically advertised as a Battle Royale, since it has extraction-based elements in it, but it can be played as a regular Battle Royale. It has a very similar graphic style to Cyber Hunter, considering they're both made by NetEase, but the gameplay is a lot slower and the matchmaking wait times are unbearable. But it's still a somewhat solid game. I wish I had stumbled across it earlier on, because it would have been fun to write a proper detailed review on. But since it hasn't received an update in the past 2 years, I doubt I'll revisit it later on. D tier. Mini Royale 2. This game is not good. I can see how I completely missed it during my initial search, as it doesn't even come up first when you type in the exact name into the App Store. F tier. And finally, Worldcraft Battle Royale. Points for an amazing app icon, but besides that, the gameplay isn't any better than Unknown Craft Battle Royale 3D. It also is just really hard to find on the App Store. F tier. So there you have it, every single mobile Battle Royale ranked as of February 2024. I'm sure I'll get at least one comment saying I missed one extremely obscure game that's name wouldn't come up with any sort of Battle Royale search. But I've genuinely wrung the App Store dry to find all the games on this list. There were plenty of games that I ran into advertising themselves as a Battle Royale, but were purely PvE missions based in a Battle Royale simulated environment, capitalizing on the success of Fortnite or PUBG. So I encourage you to watch out for those when doing your own searches. For this last segment of the video, I quickly wanted to discuss and address the flaws in my first video ranking Battle Royales, as well as the process of making it in the first place. It was adapted from a script I wrote over 2 years ago, which was supposed to deep dive rank 20 Battle Royales from the App Store, covering some now deceased games like Rules of Survival, Danger Close, and Apex Legends, as well as current games like PUBG, Free Fire, and COD Mobile. I spent months playing all of those games and writing the entire script. It was meant to be my big launch into commentary content like I'd always dreamed of making. Yet the recording and editing process fell through, and the script was never to be touched again. Fast forward to 2024, I was determined to finally put that script to use. But at the time, this channel was only around 50 subscribers, so I didn't feel the most obligated to spend hours fact-checking the old statistics, or dedicating days to rank up to give accurate reviews in games I thought I'd never play again. Obviously, this mistake led to an extremely upset community, one I was determined to fix. So, I dedicated time to every game I gave a potentially false review of, and that led us here, to this video. It's been a joy playing and reviewing all of these games on this list, as well as evolving my understanding of each through interacting with the comments section. But with this whole Battle Royale saga of 2024 completed, I'm open to suggestions of what I do next. Don't worry, I still plan to cover Warzone and Bloodstrike when they officially release, but beyond that, I think I'll take a little break from the Battle Royale front until 2025 rolls around and a new best Battle Royale video is needed. With that said, if you enjoyed this video and want more content like it in the future, leave a like and consider subscribing if you're new to the channel. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time.